That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed off to Prague. It's all going down in just a few moments right here on ADX Live. Stay tuned. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today brings an end to a very long wait. A very, very long wait. A very, very, very long wait. This actually caught me off by surprise. At no point was I planning a stream today. In fact, even though it's, what time is it? 8:42 a.m. in the morning, which some of you may have already noticed. This is an unusual time for a stream, even for you guys in Europe. I'm not usually almost ever streaming this early. Oh, hang on. Come on, Trek IR. I'm not ever usually streaming this early in the morning, but lovely reader, and I love AirDailyX readers, always helping me kind of stay up to date with what's going on. And of course, it's always very helpful when I wake up in the morning and there's an email from someone saying, hey, this is released, or hey, take a look at this, or check this out. And then I've got to get up and run downstairs and try to get caught up. So I'm up early today because I'm actually waiting on a very important package from FedEx, which should be arriving, well, they say by 10:30 a.m. So some of my gear for Flight SimCon I'm kind of waiting on here. So at some point, if I get up and run away from the computer or everything goes quiet, you'll know why. So I happened to be up, saw that email, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen it for a few more hours. And then at first I had to think, is this real? So then I had to send them an email, and they responded really quickly. It's released, it's out. And I guess it's kind of like a silent release, isn't it? Because they haven't announced it yet, and this is probably the first time that I've had an AirDailyX streaming a product before it's actually been announced by the publisher. So that's kind of like crazy. But there is no announcement yet. It's not in the release, or it could be now. I don't know. But at the time that this stream started, it wasn't even announced yet. So that's kind of interesting. So the reader, I don't know how the reader even found out, but he sent me a link, or rather sent me an email, and I went and checked, and it's available on the I believe it's the German site or the Euro site for Aerosoft. So I don't think it's available just yet on any of the other websites. So I went over to that site because I couldn't find it on the US site, and there it was. Oh, crap. I think I need to close my window behind me. I think Trek IR is going to go crazy. Let's hope not. And there it was. So I wasn't sure. Oh, crap. There's Trek IR. I'm going to have to pause. Give me 1 second, guys. This is one of the problems with Trek IR. If there's an open window behind you and the sun is out there, things get a little bit crazy. So, sorry. I'm going to pause really quickly. While I do that, quick sound check. Let me know if the audio is fine. Can you guys hear the little helicopter? If I need to make any adjustments, let me know. Quick pause. Let me close that window. I'll be right back. And I am back. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Fabian is up yet. What's Fabian doing? So, here we are. So I'm awake and I'm up, and I sent over an email to Aerosoft, and Matthias Koch was quick to release it. I've never had them respond that fast before. I thought that was awesome. So I figured, well, it's here, and might as well throw it up for you guys so you can go ahead and take a look at it in real time before you have time to buy it. I know Amos is watching, and what did you say, Amos? You drive every day from Dusseldorf to Amsterdam or something like that? So he obviously won't be able to buy it till he gets home, but at least he can take a look at some of it live before he gets a chance to buy it. So hopefully that should be a little bit helpful. We are currently flying over the thresholds between OpenLC Europe and the scenery from XHT Labs. Did I get that right? So you can kind of see some of where the threshold is. Not really. It seems like he's done a very good job blending it into the open land class, because I don't think I've seen the scene yet, but you know for sure when we're over the coverage area, because you can see this this custom sort of Eastern European autogen here. Very nice. I remember my very first trip to Prague. Wonderful trip. Oh God, I love Prague. Oh, what an amazing, wonderful place. Love the airport, by the way. Especially the announcements. So they still do the announcements that when it goes ding dong, and then they make the announcements, and then after in the end it goes dong. I don't know if they still do it that way, but anyway, I don't know. It's something interesting. I think Zurich does the same thing where, and they've actually just started doing something like that, sort of similar in LA, but I don't think it's working out too well. But I think what they do is they have two people with like really nice voices, and so when you need to make an announcement, you send a message to this like room where there's a male and a female, and they do all the announcements in a nice professional sounding voice. You know what I mean? So instead of, you know, if you're down in Kentucky somewhere, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're boarding the flight here, Southwest 345 to LaGuardia. We gonna start the boarding at gate 345. So instead of that, I think whoever's at the gate sends a message to this like other department, and then suddenly you just hear, ladies and gentlemen, flight 345 to LaGuardia is now boarding out of gate 345. Dong! You know, some crap like that. So I'm pretty sure I know they do that at Zurich. I don't know if they do that at Prague, but there's always these very lovely voices that you always hear over the PA systems. And I always think, why don't they do that in the States? So I think they've tried to start doing something like that in the States, because the average Joe is just not very good with the PA system when you're blasting that over a huge building. So, yeah, that's good, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I always love the announcements. So, Prague, let's see. Now, the first time I stayed in Prague, I think I was in 2005, so I must have been 20... Oh, gosh, I was in my mid-20s, I think, at the time. And so I stayed at kind of like a backpacker's place, and I'm trying to think where that even was. It wasn't too far from the city center, just like a maybe 5-minute bus ride. And it was co-ed too, so there was like bunk beds and stuff in there, and there were, you know, a lot of girls from like Australia and stuff, and yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so let's see. What did I do on the first day? The first day, I had signed up for a walking tour for downtown Prague, and that tour takes you to the main square there. I don't remember the name of the square. You have the big clock where they used to do all the hangings and stuff. Sorry, the big square where they filmed Mission Impossible. I can't think of the name at the moment. But it started there, and it was like an all-inclusive thing. So it would start and kind of end there. They took us all the way up through Prague Castle. It included a typical Prague lunch with like a goulash and Czech beer, which was like, you know, that Czech beer ain't no joke. Like, you get a shot of that before your meal. I don't know if it was goulash, but it's like a, you know, a typical sort of Czech meal, which is really yummy. And then heading up to Prague Castle, spent the whole day up there. In fact, if you Google my name on YouTube, you might find a video of me being nuts. There may be a video of me fooling around with the Prague Castle Guard. They're doing some typical American nonsense. But there's a video that I did not put on YouTube, and that's a video of me actually marching in line behind the Czech guard there, just doing stupid crap. Anyway, so yeah, if you Google my name, you might find a video of me on YouTube, kind of fooling around with the guard. I didn't piss him off to the point where he does that thing where he slams his little fake gun thingy there on the ground. I didn't go that far, but you know, I just wanted to see how close I could get to him, and he didn't seem to mind too much. So, yeah, and then that night, so let me see. Prague. By the way, if you've never been, I think Prague has some of the best. What do you call those things? Like bakeries, like in the whole of Europe. Oh my God, there's this one bakery that's like right next to the big clock thingy that I can't think of the name of it. I know that's horrible that I can't remember that, but there's a bakery there. We went into this bakery and we ordered a pastry, and then we went back outside. I met up with some girl from New Zealand, and so we were in the walking tour together. So we go in, we eat our pastry, and it was so good. Like, we just sat outside on a bench, and then we went in and ordered something else, and then went outside and ate it. It was so good. We must have gone back into that thing like 20 times and ordered almost everything in there. It was just so incredibly good. Like, I mean, the best, like, fresh pastries I've ever eaten in my life. And we kind of actually got full just eating that. It was so delicious. So, and then later on that night, I think we broke up in the afternoon, and then we met up again at night, and they had what you call the ghost walking tour, and now that was freaking insane. So you meet up with your group, and you have a tour guide that tells you all these stories that, you know, may or may not be fiction, vampire stories and murder stories. And it so happened that the time that I was there, I think it was in October, so they had like fog machines like out in the streets, and I don't know if Prague still does this or not, but they had like these fog machines out in the streets, out in these like cobblestone, like little back narrow alleys and stuff. And so they made everything seem very eerie and like scary. And so we're in our group, and they're telling us these little like stories, these scary stories. And then out of nowhere comes this guy with a mask and a knife. And it's obviously a fake rubber knife, but that was all it needed to scare the shit out of like half the group. And there was one girl in the group that was so scared, she screamed and just took off running, and we never saw her again. But it was the funniest freaking thing that ever happened. And so throughout this ghost walking tour, I think it must have happened like 3 or 4 times. So everybody is just constantly like checking their back and looking around, because, you know, there's all these little like small alleys and stuff where anyone can pop out of anything, and there's all these little doorways and stuff. So everyone was just like on edge, waiting on someone to kind of come out of a corner somewhere and scare the crap out of someone. So that was a lot of fun. And then the next day, I headed up to Karlstein Castle, which I had to book like almost 6 months in advance just to get into that castle. And that was a lot of fun, really awesome. And that also came with another traditional Czech beer. So anyway, I couldn't get it all done just in that first trip, because I was only there for like 2.5 days, because I was like backpacking across Europe at the time. So yeah, I went back a couple of years later, hit up a couple of the other castles that I had missed before. And again, Prague is just an amazing city. It is so beautiful. I love the St. Charles Bridge? I'm like, oh, my memory is really killing me. But there's the little thingy there where everyone goes up and touches it, and you make a wish. And so my wish was to please bring me back here again. That was my wish. I want to come back here again, because this is such a wonderful city, and it's very, very European. You feel very immersed when you're there. It's an incredible city. By day, by night, I just love it. Everything about it. It's just a wonderful thing. So nevertheless, let's switch to an outside view here. Nevertheless, the second I got back home, I went on the hunt for a Prague scenery, which is, you know, that's one of the things I always do or at least what I used to do. Now, it doesn't matter whether I've been there or not. If the scenery looks good, I go for it. That's my philosophy now. But back in the day, you know, I was always on the hunt for places that I had been to in real life. That's just kind of how a lot of us, you know, kind of do it, or at least did at one point. And so I went on a hunt for a Prague scenery, and the only one that was available was a freeware version. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, some of you guys are saying the stream is kind of slow. Hang on. I saw Ben from Airline 2 Sim is in there. Ben, how is the stream running for you? I think you have a decent internet connection. Anyone else having stream problems? Someone says, my voice is using too much bandwidth. Yeah, that could be. Anyone else having any issues? Anyway, I don't see anyone else saying they have any problems. So, I forgot what I was saying. But, oh yeah, so I found the freeware. These guys made a really nice, I don't remember who they are, but there's a great freeware version of Prague that's been out for years. And, that's basically what kind of held me over, and I've been waiting for so long for somebody to come around and do a payware version of Prague. And the only thing I didn't like about the freeware version was the fact that it just didn't have AES. That was back in the day when I was using AES. I don't use it anymore because it's not in prepared, but that was the only downside about it. But it was a really, really terrific freeware scenery for its time for both FS9 and FSX. Might still be available out there somewhere. Galleria Moda. Might still be out there somewhere, but nevertheless, yeah, it was a good freeware. And then I think it was George from Fly Tampa who had just finished, I think it was Buffalo, and he was going around and asking some people, I guess in a poll, what would you guys, or rather I think he just asked folks, what would you guys like to see me do next? And so of all the requests, I'm getting some funky stutters here. What's going on? Woo. Easy, puppy. Okay. And Prague was one of those that a lot of people, I think, requested. And so he put it on an official poll. And Prague went up on a poll with a number of airports, including Eleftherios Venizelos. If I pronounced that right, I probably didn't. I want to say, unfortunately, Eleftherios Venizelos won. That's Athens, but that's obviously not unfortunate because we wanted that airport as well. But for me, I wanted Prague more than I wanted that. So anyway, Prague lost, and the rest is kind of history. And then several years later comes this team XHT Labs, which is an X-Plane developer. And to be honest, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of X-Plane. I know Ben from Airline 2 Sim is trying to get me back into it, and I think for him, or because of him, I might give it one last go before I wait until X-Plane 11 comes out. But they're an X-Plane developer, and they've developed a couple sceneries, maybe 2 or 3, I think, for X-Plane. And I remember, or if I remember correctly, XHT was never planning to deliver an FSX prepared version of Prague. That's really wasn't their goal. Their goal as an X-Plane developer was to deliver an X-Plane scenery. So the plan was that the Flight Simulation Development Group, FSDG, would be the ones responsible for making it compatible with FSX and prepared. And FS9, actually. They were also going to make an FS9 version. Unfortunately, things did not work out well, and I don't know all the details, and I guess it's not really all that relevant, but that didn't work out well. So I think things kind of went up in limbo for a minute while the guys at Aerosoft and XHT decided what would be, I guess, the best method to move forward. And I guess XHT decided, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just do it. Just bang this out, baby. Just get this done. And it kind of makes me wonder why we don't see... we obviously see a lot of developers that publish for X-Plane or for FSX and Prepared going in and publishing a lot of their add-ons, making them compatible for X-Plane. We've seen it most recently with 29 Palms, who I worship. But what we don't see is X-Plane developers making their products compatible with FSX and Prepared. And I've always wondered why that was, because, it doesn't really take a genius to kind of, tell you that, obviously the crowd between Prepared and FSX is by far larger than that of X-Plane. So you would think that if these guys really want to make a decent return on their investments, that they would also make compatible versions of their X-Plane products for Prepared and FSX, but they don't do it. So to my knowledge, XHT Labs is really the first and only developer, to my knowledge again, to ever make a scenery that was intended for X-Plane for FSX and Prepared. So I want to tip my hat off to him, and he's going to make a bazillion freaking bucks on this scenery. I can tell you already, just because he's going to release it for all three platforms, which was something that I think is look. I said it on the panel at FlightSimCon, and I'll just say it again. Everyone is beneficial when you can have things for all platforms, and then people don't have to choose. People shouldn't have to choose between Prepared or FSX or X-Plane. They should be able to just have those add-ons, those third-party add-ons for all their sceneries or for all their platforms, all those sceneries, and they can just choose which one they like. And I think that just is something that benefits everyone. But nevertheless, I know there are a lot of developers that don't like working with X-Plane for various reasons, and maybe it's the same for certain X-Plane developers. They just don't like working with Prepared. So I guess to each his own. Fair enough. The last time I was here at Prague, they had that big Antonov AN225 parked on that closed runway. I think that's where they park it when it lands, because when it lands, it's like too fat to fit on the actual, like on any of the aprons. So I think they just leave it on that runway. So when I was there, I saw it for the first time, and it was just sitting like right on that runway. I don't think the nose or anything was up, but that's like right where they parked it. So anyway, the scenery. Before I start getting into the scenery itself, let's take a quick gander at any comments here. I think the last I saw, some of you were having some problems with stutter. I did have stutters, so that's not you. No, there are some stutters here. I don't know why. Before I do a stream, I always make sure I clear out any junk. I always run my system mechanic. But for some reason, I'm getting some stutters. But let me just see if I can just take a quick look and make sure that ye old Jetline is running at optimum efficiency here, just to make sure. But I did make sure I did make sure to test everything before I started the stream. So usually if I get stutters, it's got to be down to something with the scenery. But let's just hold tight for a second. Let me just put this down real quick. Come on, down you go. And let me see here while I take a quick look at this, because I am concerned about those stutters. Give me just one quick second. I'm fumbling around in my background menus here, so give me just a second. And while I do this, let me just take a quick look and proceed through any questions or comments here. By the way, shout out to Rolio and Amos Jiva. Rolio has been doing a great job. I don't know if you guys keep up with that AirDailyX map, that airports map, but I know like 10 people got access to it, and it seems like every time I go back to check for something, it's been updated. So a huge thanks to those guys for helping serve their fellow community and keeping that map updated, and a huge thanks to Amos for keeping that that prepared compatibility list available. You did send me that embed code, Amos, and I will get that embedded up on the website soon, so it's a lot easier for folks to check that list on a regular basis. So I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm working on it. Let's see here. Someone's asking, updating the billboard would be something that'll happen. Yeah, that billboard has really fallen behind. It's just there's so many projects to track, and there are so many elements to AirDailyX. There's the live streams, there's the written reviews, there's the daily news, obviously. There's so many elements to it that at some point, some things it starts to get difficult to keep up with certain things, and one of the things that's been so difficult to keep up with is the billboard, because so many projects get announced every month, so many projects get released every month, and then I have to like keep up with that on a monthly basis. And there's been a few people that have been instrumental in assisting with all of the releases, but between that and all the folks that are submitting reviews and everything that I have to get up on the website, at some point some things just wind up taking a back seat. So what I've tried to do at the very least is make sure that you stay up to date on the news, so that even if on the billboard something's not updated, which it hasn't been now for like a year and a half, at the very least you're still going to find that same information on the news page. So I do intend to get the billboard back up and running soon. I don't know when yet, but One of the things I think I'm going to stop doing is predicting release dates, because, again, that just adds an additional element of something that I have to keep up with, as opposed to just posting a full list of everything that's in development and what's been released. So that way I can maybe do it maybe once or twice a month as opposed to every day. So not really sure yet when I'm going to get to that, but just in answer to your question, eventually. Aside from that, for those of you guys having buffering issues, I think that's Twitch, because I'm having buffering issues on my end as well. I'm looking at my laptop, and several times now the laptop has had to buffer. So I'm not sure what's up there. Maybe it's my internet. I'm not really sure, but that's a little bit odd. Nevertheless, this will be available up on YouTube afterwards, and obviously, even though we get the buffering here, the buffering doesn't go through the Twitch server. So at the very least, you'll get a nice smooth playback then. Let's see. All right, so just doing, let me see, I'm still just going to pan around the aircraft here a little bit. And I am seeing some, there are some stutters here. Hang on. Let's see, all I'm running right now is Active Sky and OBS. So let me pull up System Mechanic one more time and see if there's anything I can do really quickly to kind of free up anything. But as far as I can see, so I usually I have a disclaimer, that when I do run OBS in a live stream, that does have effect on the system's performance. But if you take a look at a lot of the airports that I have streamed over the years, there's really, you can see what has stutters and what doesn't. So I'm not really sure what's happening here. Let me see if I can make some adjustments in the simulator here. I did look, for once, I actually did make it a point. Your screen's going to go blank. I didn't make it a point to read the manual before starting anything. So the settings are set at what the developer has put in the manual, because I did read the manual for once. And so those settings are set for what he said they should be set at. So AI traffic is off. Ground traffic is off. I do still see some stutters, though. And I do have this lovely tool which allows me to turn off all unnecessary background processes. That's kind of what I'm double checking right now, just to make sure of. But aside from that, yeah, only the most necessary programs are running in the background. Let's take off again here. So yeah, I am getting some stutters here. Let's continue forward and just see where we get to. So yeah, going back to that old freeware version of Prague, this was one of the last updates that they added to that scenery, this little Seska little shopping center. That was like the last little piece to it. So nice roof parking lot up here. You guys know me and my freaking parking lot, so definitely definitely liking the quality of the parking lot. Let's go ahead and move into our little first-person perspective. We can get rid of Trek IR now, I think. And swing it around a little bit. I am getting some stutters, though. Whew. Yeah. Those are some serious stutters. Just spinning the helicopter around here a little bit. There may be some needed optimizations now. As we know, the scenery is something like, I think, a year behind schedule, if I'm not mistaken. So in thinking about that, one of the reasons why it was behind schedule is that the developer was working on some sort of new technology or technique, I think is what we understood. So I went into the instruction manual because I wanted to know, assuming that the technique has been completed, and that's why the scenery is now released, one of the things that I wanted to do was take a look at that manual and see exactly what this thing is that has been like under wraps. I don't know what it is because the manual doesn't seem to point that out. So I'm not really sure what that technology was that's been added because there's no mention of it in the manual. So I know typically sometimes someone from Aerosoft is tuning in. I haven't seen Fabian or Matthias or anyone else as yet. So if anyone knows, or if you take a look over at Aerosoft and can find any information about that, I'd appreciate it because I want to make sure that I can show it off in the live stream here, but I don't know what it is. One of the things I can tell you though is there's definitely ground animated vehicles there, so that's nice. No reliance on AES light. Another thing here that I'm really loving is the tarmac textures here. Digging that, as well as these roads sort of leading outside of the airport here. I'm very impressed with that as well. So we've got nice parking lots, some nice roads there with traffic moving along the road, some road markings. The building textures are very nice. Move here. We're over in the GA area now. Amos is taking a look for us. Yeah, because I didn't see anything at all in the manual about what that new technique is supposed to be. So it's a good question. Another lovely parking lot here, and this is the is this the executive terminal, if I'm not mistaken? There's the My Travel Airways, based in Prague as well. And this is where they filmed that first Daniel Craig James Bond movie. And it was funny because when I went to the theaters to see that, and they tell you it's Miami, and I knew right off the bat, I was like, that ain't Miami, that's Prague. What the hell? I knew that like right off the bat. I knew that was at the time Ruzzini, and then you had all these Virgin airplanes in the background. By the way, I love that freaking scene in that movie. I've got full 7.1 Pioneer Elite home theater system. So oh heck yeah, I'm running like 3,000 watts of sound. So I love that scene. I crank that system all the way up when they get to that airport scene. Sometimes I put in the disc, the Blu-ray, and I just skip right to that scene. Yes, I am a nerd. Sorry. So just kind of taking a look around this little logistics area here of the airport, if you will. All the buildings have been very nicely rendered. All the little roads. Nice photoreal terrain application down here. Lots of details. Lots of details. I don't know if he was able to get on site. The developer, Primic, I believe is his name, or at least the name he uses on the Aerosoft forums. But he has done a wonderful job modeling all the buildings, and adding in all these trees, all this vegetation here. Every single little building here has been included. Definitely impressed with that. So it looks like some of you guys are having some bad buffer issues. Sometimes Twitch is just a pain in the ass. And if I had to guess, it's probably Twitch. So you guys are getting freezes. Let me just check the broadcasting software and make sure that it has not cut out at all. Give me a second. Let's see, I've been streaming for 45 minutes straight now, so the broadcast software is still running. So I guess what I'm going to say is I'm sorry, guys. I guess, at the very least, watch the YouTube video that'll be published later on today, because there's definitely something going on. It's definitely not on my system, so I'm sort of being left to conclude that it must have something to do with Twitch. Twitch... sometimes their service just has issues, and any Twitch broadcaster will tell you, they run into these problems every now and then. So it's been fine for the last few streams, but there definitely seems to be an issue today because you guys are having some some issues. Crawley says his is working fine aside from the stutters. He's not having any buffering issues. So, okay, maybe it's not happening for everyone. I know for me, just on the laptop here, though, the laptop was having some buffering issues as well. So, not really sure what's going on. Just taking a look here. So, I'm guessing this is this the executive terminal? What terminal is this? Somebody will correct me on what terminal this is. But again, very nice job done on the tarmac. Very interesting looking tarmac textures, isn't that? Look at that. I don't think I've seen tarmac textures that look quite like that before, but I'm liking it. You've got your ground, your GSE ground equipment vehicles here. You've got your fences. I'm having a feeling that this is going to be one of those sceneries where I'm really going to have to try really hard to find something wrong with it, aside from the stutters that I'm getting. But so far, everything that I'm seeing is just really nicely done. I mean, it looks very realistic. There's a lot of attention that's been paid here to the smallest details. Even the trees there on the little ramp areas here. I mean, everything is just looking spectacular. But these stutters are killing me. At some point, I'll switch over into the Aerosoft Airbus and do some taxiing around the airfield and see how that pans out. There's the travel service hangar there. And this is actually, it looks like photoreal, so it looks like the developer was able to get some on-site photography here. So there's a comment there. Someone says, what worries me is more than the freezes is the performance. So the freezes you're seeing is entirely related to the broadcast. There's no freezes happening on my end. Let me take a look at what are my frame rates here. Frame rates is between 27 and 40, locked at 60. So the highest frame rate that I see right now is 40. It's bouncing between 40. Let's see, what's the lowest here? 27. And went down to 24. 26. Well, at one point it jumped down to 18.5. 22. Oh, it dropped to 7 for a second there. Back to 30. 31. 25. 22. 8.5. Then it jumped from 8.5 to 32. So where it's jumping down to single digits is obviously it has to be where we're getting these stutters. So that's very interesting. Heading back to the external view of the helicopter here, just kind of flying around. We've got some more of these sort of general aviation maintenance hangars, I suppose. Embraer hangars here. And ABS jets. Again, the all of the service roads, the ground textures. I mean, everything is just. I mean, as far as visually, so far, I'm extremely impressed with everything that I've seen here thus far. Everything here looks very, very lovely. Let's take a look here. We've got a few more little logistics buildings on here. And the fence is running the entire perimeter of the airport so far. Very good. This is sort of surreal for me. Like, I honestly can't believe this is finally here. Oh, FedEx is here. Hang on. Pause. And even more excited, my last bit of equipment for Flight Sim Con has arrived. All right, hang on. I got to get myself together here. Hang on. Oh, shoot. I lost my earpiece. Oh, crap. Ah, there it is. I do not want to miss that delivery, because if I miss it, then I have to go down to FedEx in Marina Del Rey and get it, which is not a problem, but it won't be available till after 4, and I really want to play with this little piece of thingamajiggy and kind of learn it a little bit. So, all right, here we go. Let's get back to it. Adjust my seat. All right, Amos, see you later, buddy. Amos is getting ready to start that drive. So again, a lot of things, a lot of the little details that I typically look for in sceneries that I always point out, they're all here. Plenty of custom high-resolution vegetation. I love the texture in all the buildings, and all the buildings around the airport has been created, or I should say recreated, very realistically. You know, one of the things that I'm hearing a lot of people talk about lately in terms of you know, the airport feature that's most important to them is the airport surroundings and the approach. A lot of people are saying, you know, that's more important to us than internal modeling and all these other things that we enjoy, but is really having that approach and the surroundings, because one of the things that used to be a kind of a staple among developers was just simply modeling only the airport up to the perimeter fence, and then that's it, and then you just hit default. And in some cases you would even get like these huge autogen exclusion zones and stuff that you really used to piss me off. And that's really a thing of the past now. You get right to the edge of the airport perimeter and everything kind of continues. Oh, that's a Ramada. I didn't know that was a hotel. And everything continues. You get past the fence, and then you hit the nearby towns with more buildings and custom vegetation. I mean, this is how it should be. Except for these stutters, baby. Woo! These stutters are no freaking joke. I don't know. The stutters are the only thing that's kind of bringing down the fun here a little bit. So I'm going to have to take some time and provide you guys with an update. I'll provide another run of maintenance on my PC and give an update on the AirDailyX blog once I post the video to see if that's been cleaned up, because I know that the stutters are going to concern a lot of people. And folks might hold off on purchasing something if they feel like they're not going to get, you know, decent performance. So that is something that I'll have to run through on my own system and run some more tests when I'm not streaming to see if the stutters persist or not. So do bear with me on that. I will run some more tests. And here we are now, just making our way across the airfield. Another maintenance hangar. A lot of maintenance hangars at Prague. So after my last trip to Prague, I went down to Rome, and this was right that very first year when CSA got their first Airbus A320s. They had nothing but 737s in their fleet, and if you remember back then, their 737s, the 500s I think they were operating, were rather special because they had all these special paint schemes. And I was really looking forward to flying on a CSA 737. I was so excited about it. When I was at the airport, I saw them all lined up out there. And they had all these different special paint schemes, and I'm just like, which one's going to be mine? Which one's going to be mine? Which one's going to be mine? And there's an area now where there's a bunch of jet bridges, but back then those jet bridges weren't there yet. So you still had to get on a shuttle bus and get to the gate. And so we're getting on the shuttle bus, and we're working our way over to our gate, and we're passing these 737s, which were all looking just so beautiful out there on the tarmac. All these different special color schemes that they had. And we're passing one 737 after another, and I'm like, wow, which one are we going to get? And I couldn't see to the very end of the line of aircraft that were lined up. Because I was like in the back of the shuttle bus there, and it was pretty packed with people. So we're still driving, and then we get to the very end of the line, and what's there? An A320. And I'm like, no! Because, you know, nothing against flying an A320, obviously, but I was getting a bit bored with the A320s because everything was an A320. Flying EasyJet, A320. Flying British Midland, A320. Everything, Air France, A320. Everything that I was flying on in Europe was on an A320 or an A319. Swiss, A321. So it was just like I wanted to mix things up. I wanted a 737, for God's sake, in Europe. I wanted a 737. And like I said, between Czech and Malev, you know, there weren't many flying 737s, and what I probably should have done was book a flight on, oh crap, what's the name of the airline? Give me a second. I'm having a brain freeze. Based in in Slovakia, excuse me. I was going to say Czechoslovakia. That was not smart. What was the name of that doggone airline? It was blue with a red tail, Sky something. I can't remember the name of it. It doesn't exist anymore. They went bankrupt, but it was another airline, kind of like Ryanair, and it was all blue with a red tail. It was a like a low-cost airline, and they operated all 737s. And I probably should have booked a flight with them, but I really wanted to fly on CSA because CSA is such a sort of a what's the word? Sort of a legendary airline. I mean, it's not a brand new airline. CSA's been around for so long, and I wanted to be able to say I flew on CSA, so that's why I booked the flight on CSA. But I was so incredibly disappointed that the plane I flew on was an A320, and guess what? It had only been in service for a week. That thing was brand spanking new. I mean, you had that new airplane smell. And as flattered as I was that they put me on their brand new Airbus, I really wanted one of those old 737s. Even to this day, you know, I'm very picky on what airplanes I fly on. Virgin America, obviously, is a very decent airline. JetBlue, love JetBlue, you know, but they all fly Airbuses, and I'm kind of a Boeing guy. I'd rather fly on like a 30-year-old MD-80 than a brand new A320. That's just the kind of person I am. So anyway, we booked our flight with Delta, heading out to New York for Flight SimCon because Delta operates 757s and 767s, and that's the equipment that I'd rather fly on rather than an Airbus. So even if it costs more, I'm happy to pay more to get on a 767 or a 757. And in my opinion, I think they're faster, but maybe that's a placebo effect. One of the things I wanted to point out, you notice here you have the bridges here going over the road. Another thing that I really love too is this road leading up to the airport. Look at that. There's a median there with the lights on it. I can't wait to see what everything looks like at night. We've got some billboards here, which are looking very nice. Little gas station there. I love the way this road leading into the airport was done. In fact, I'm going to change my view. I notice a lot of people are probably going to tune out of today's stream because of the buffering issues that's happening on Twitch right now. So that's totally understandable. I will continue to talk to myself if need be. I see there's still 30 people watching live. But yeah, I know some of you guys are having a real hard time with the constant buffering. So if you got to bounce, I won't take it personally. It'll definitely be up on YouTube within an hour, a few hours after today's stream. So no worries. We've got the airport signs leading into the airport. I need some water. And this side of the airport, it looks like the, well, no, I spoke too soon. I was going to say it looked like the stutters kind of stopped, but no, it looks like they're back. Over here as well, we have a little cargo facility. And for you guys that know my streams, you know I'm crazy about animated trains. But another thing that I tend to get crazy about are these trucks. When I was a kid, aside from collecting airplanes, I was a huge collector of Hot Wheels. I always had a train set, an HO scale train set. Still have one actually in the house. It usually comes out for Christmas and goes around the tree. But I also used to collect trucks, these little like model scale trucks. I'm a big fan of, I think in the UK you guys call them lorries, or in the US we call them big rigs. But I'm a huge fan of trucks, and I haven't gotten into any of these truck driving simulators simply because I haven't had any time, really. I mean, Air Daily X takes up a lot of my free time, and I don't get as much time as I like to game, but I'm really looking into getting into one of these trucking simulator games. because I'm a real fan of just big trucks. That's just a thing for me, I guess. But nevertheless, here we've got a lot of really nicely done trucks. And not only has he added the trucks, but the quality of the trucks are really nice. I mean, look at that modeling. Sorry, I've got like hiccups here. I mean, the trucks themselves are just modeled really nicely. And I don't get the feeling that, you know, we're sitting on photoreal. Like, he's done something with these ground textures that's really odd. I mean, you can tell it's kind of photoreal because the lines weren't redrawn. We're just looking at, looks like the photoreal lines. And yet, it's not that shabby photoreal look. It kind of like Aspen was. This is like much better done. I mean, if you're not going to fully do the parking lot, which he still went out of his way to do, you know, but he didn't fully like hand paint the whole thing from scratch, but it still looks good. So it still has kind of a like a tarmac-y kind of feel to it. So definitely digging that. Love those trucks. All the building signs are there, looking very accurate. We've got the fences. Let's turn around here and head back on over to the airfield. Oh, wait a minute. I see a building over here. I want to see what this building is here. Give me a second. What is this? Oh, we did see that already. All right, let's spin it to the left. Yeah, these stutters, man. Oh, I know a lot of you guys are going to rush out and just buy it right away, right off the bat. So please do give me any feedback that you might have in terms of your own experience, if you've noticed any stutterings as well on your own or not. Also, just leave some feedback on the original release post and just let me know the experience with some of you guys as well, because if you're not and I am, then there's definitely something on my system, and I will definitely need to clear that up, because I don't want anyone to be put off purchasing something based on the live stream. Obviously it's designed to obviously help you make an informed decision, but if it's a problem on my end, I do need to clear that up on behalf of both the developer and the publisher. So if you do not experience stutters and you get it, do definitely let me know, so I can see what's going on. Man, this is just like everything here was done so well. I am really impressed with everything here. This is the Prague I've been waiting for. These are the droids you've been looking for. This is it. I mean, and so much attention to detail here. I am really thoroughly impressed. Lots of signs here, all the little bridges, the animated vehicle traffic. I mean, just beautiful. Oh, God, like I said a minute ago, this is kind of surreal for me, because I really can't believe it's actually here. Like, it is actually finally here, and I am just super excited. I'm in the process of putting together the European stream, and this probably would have gone as a part of the European stream, but again, today is not a planned stream. That's why you notice I didn't even announce when the stream would happen. Oh, crap, check that out. That's animated. That's nice. There's XHT Labs, the developer of the Scenery project. That's where the Air Daily X banner is supposed to go. Hint. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, this is not a planned stream. So this is kind of a spur of the moment thing, because I'm awake because I was waiting on that FedEx delivery. And since they sent it so quick, I was like, booyah! I went to bed at 3 a.m. and woke up at 7, so I'm not on much sleep. I am going to have to take a nap at some point today. But, ooh, look at that. A Lockheed Martin prepared banner. This is an X-Plane developer. Prepared, an EXP technology. Brought to you by Lockheed Martin. We never forget who we're working for. Which, apparently, happens to be the flight simulation community these days. All right. So we've got some nice photoreal here. And look at that, a little bit of internal modeling. Uh-oh. Not too happy with what I'm seeing here, though. Hang on a second. Let me back up here on the zoom. All right, so I found a problem. Yes, something for me. Finally, I found a problem. The stutters, obviously something going on, but I'm not going to chalk that up to an official problem yet because I haven't investigated it. But found a problem, and the problem here is the same problem that I discovered in Jawiecki's Warsaw that hasn't been updated yet, Stan. I can't see terminal glass here. Where is the glass? I can't see the glass. I appreciate that it's been internally modeled, but I don't see the glass. It looks like there's just window framing, but there's no glass. And so, yeah, maybe in a future update, we should have some glass here. Actually, I do see it now. I do see it now. As I move and pan around a little bit, I do see it, but it's so subtle, it's almost as if it's invisible. But I do see it there. See, when I come this way, you guys can probably see it a little bit now, but it's a little too subtle. So what I would probably, my recommendation in this area would be to maybe tint that a little bit more and add a little bit more of that sort of specular reflection, whatever you want to call it, that little gloss to it. So that way you do see a reflection on it, and it looks like glass. You can kind of see it now. It's a little bit slightly more evident, but it's very subtle. It's kind of hard to see it. So that's just that little area there. Yeah, that could be done better. You see that? I feel like I'm not really seeing the glass here. So let's poke our head in here a little bit. Just take a look here. So we have all the ticket counters there, and some very interesting, I don't know if these are like artworks or billboards. They look like they would be artworks. Very nice. So that's a nice touch. Definitely appreciate that. I just think the windows, oh, those stutters, oh my God. I just think the windows need to be a little bit more pronounced. Just a little bit more pronounced there. These roads and bridges here, the upper departures level, all of that very nicely detailed, very well done. Ooh, and we have some nice coach buses here too. Again, all the vehicles here are very impressive. Very impressed with the vehicles. There's our control tower there, the very infamous Praha buildings. Parking lots are very nicely done. All the buildings, all the signage here. So far, only really one thing to point out, but so far, very impressive everything else. Got rooftop, or rather car parks, I should call it. We've got more cars up here. Is that my car? That is my car, except that little white Passat there. Except mine's is not a station wagon. But that would be my. It looks like my year model car. All right, let's back up here just a little bit. Take a look at the whole sort of landside area here. Very nicely modeled. A lot of attention to detail. Taking a look at some more of these buildings here on the land side. A lot of buildings here. This is the CSA headquarters building here. I'm assuming that's their headquarters, right? Very nice building. Looks like it. It should be. It's big enough to be. And you get a nice view of the airfield, too. I don't think I could work for CSA in this building. Because how the hell do you expect anybody to focus on their work when you're, like, so close to the runway? I'd be too busy staring out the window. I don't think I'd be able to focus on my work in this building. So no specular shiny maps and all that stuff on the windows here. Just kind of solid photoreal, which is not a big deal. And taking a look more at the airport entrance area here. Ooh, lovely. And as I mentioned before, this is a perfect example because I was mentioning, CSA is kind of a historic airline. They've been around for a long time, and that's why I chose them when I've flown with them. Actually, the last time I was there, though, what they did was they had a code share with Air France from Paris. And so it wasn't actually on a Czech airplane. That was the first thing that kind of pissed me off, was the fact that I was hoping to get on one of those CSA 737s from Paris to Prague, and instead it was a code share with Air France. But Air France put me up in business class, so that was nice. I appreciated that, and had a nice little baguette snack on the way over as we flew over Germany there. But yeah. So I missed 2 opportunities, and now I think they're all gone from the fleet now. I'm not sure if they're all gone now, but that was an opportunity that I never got to get. And there's the travel service headquarters building there. Nice. Oh, the stutters, the stutters. So I see there's some remarks there, just trying to look. Someone saying make sure I use the gate control. So yeah, we're going to get to all that. Let's go ahead now and start taking a look at a little bit more of the meaty part of the scenery, so that we can hop on our airplane and test that. Now again, I did look at the manual, and it does mention, I think it mentions gate control there. We'll have to check it out. Nice little shine on the ramp areas too here. So aside from those stutters, one thing I can say about XHT already, now that they finally released their first scenery for Prepared. That's so interesting that there's a Prepared billboard in the scenery. Does this mean that XHT now will just really try to focus on FSX and Prepared releases and not so much X-Plane now? I'm just asking questions. So we come over here and we take a look. Here I can see the glass. Here the glass is very obvious. So over here it was done right. This is good. This is good. You kind of have a little bit of a tint there, and you can see the glass. So I guess what was done here is kind of what should be done over there at the other terminal, because this is looking nice. This is how it should look. And there's some varying elevations here as well, which any developer would tell you takes more than a Coke and a smile. That's something that can be very complicated to do when you have these multiple elevations here. Very nice. And now we're taking a look at one of the terminal docks. And this particular terminal doesn't have any sort of internal modeling. We're looking at photoreal, but the jet bridges. And this is one of the things I want to point out. One of the things I don't like is when developers use photorealistic glass on glass jet bridges. I mean, come on. Use the glass. Make it transparent. Make the little extra effort and make it transparent. And that's what was done here. And as you can see, it makes a world of difference. Look at that. These are some good quality jet bridges here. Ooh. Oops. My bad. Too busy looking at the jet bridges. Tyson Krupp? Krupp? I don't know how you pronounce that. But nice looking jet bridges there. So very well done on the jet bridge models. And hopefully these bad boys will be all animated. We will find out very soon. Really excited to see how all this is going to look at night. Oh, the stutters, the stutters. Look at the way that's all done underneath the terminal here. This is where the buses line up. I remember this very, very, all too clearly. Oh my gosh, I miss Prague. I feel like I'm back there again. Oh, what a terrific place. And have some Citibank jet bridges. Now, last time I was there, they hadn't moved on to the Euro yet, so they were still. Is it the Krona Krona, something like that. And I made sure I spent all my money when I was there. I spent it all. I guess I should have kept some of it. It didn't dawn on me that I should have kept some of it because it was a currency that would eventually disappear. But I don't know. I'd spent it all. I did some shopping. I bought all kinds of stuff, and I ate very well while I was there. Even if you go, I don't know why, but one night I went out for Chinese food, and even when you go to order Chinese food, they still serve you up some of that Czech beer before your meal. Love that Czech beer. Get that shot, which is great because that just kind of softens the mood before dinner. I guess we should all take a shot before dinner, just soften everything right on up. I'm a wine guy, though. Still taking a look at the docks here, and of course, do note the ground, the GSE. And just responding to KJF 333 or whatever. That's not updated. It says 3.1 in Twitch, and I need to correct that, but this is version 3.2. And the last, I think, 10 live streams that I've done are all in 3.2, so do ignore that. This is version 3.2. As for the stuttering, yeah, we're getting some kind of nasty stutters going on here, so I'm gonna have to investigate that and find out. We'll find out soon if it's just me or if it's the scenery, because obviously if it's the scenery, we're going to be seeing a lot of support requests over at Aerosoft, and if we don't, then we know it's just me. So I will update you guys soon in terms of my findings once I'm not streaming. So here we have a little bit of a change in visual representation. We've gone from one type of glass that's kind of like a photoreal to sort of a colored texture type here. Little interesting change there. And we've got a little observation deck. I didn't know there was an observation deck here. I would have definitely hit that up. I had no idea, but there is a little observation deck there. I never knew that was there. Oh, I'm upset now. And there she is, Praha. And taking a look at some more GSE right underneath the building here. What do we got down here? We've got, looks like a water truck or a lav truck, some belt loaders, container loaders. Again, the GSE and all the vehicles here were done impeccably well. Very impressed with that. And B. Crawley's asking if I have reflections turned on. If you're talking about that prepared 3.2 feature that puts all the little ground textures and all that stuff, no, that is not on. At least I don't think it is. Hang on a second. It might be on, huh? No, I don't think it is. It can't be. Hang on. Because I never use that. Oh, shit. It was on. Damn it. All right, let's see if the stutters go away now. It was on. Son of a gun. That's crazy because I only use that for streams, and I turned it on for the Aspen stream. And I guess I must have just forgot it was on. But it's funny because the last several flights that I've done, I didn't have any no, we're still getting stutters. I just turned it off though, but we're still getting some stutters. That dynamic, what is it called again? What is it? Hang on a second. Options, settings. It's called dynamic reflections, which is a new prepared feature that allows you to see dynamic reflections in glass and on the ground when it's wet and stuff like that. But the last several flights, I did a flight with the 737 last night. Oh, 2 nights ago. From Fly Tampa's Midway to Fly Tampa Toronto, and we all know Toronto was a mofo. And I was getting no stutters at all on approach. It was great. It was wonderful. So, and that was on, and I forgot that was on. So, I don't know. But I'm still getting some stutters here, though. Hopefully, we'll see if there's a difference. We'll see if there's a difference, but I do still see some stutters here. But thank you for pointing that out, Crawley. I don't know. That was a very good point. I had forgotten to turn that off. But again, with my last few flights, it was fine. That's crazy. So this row of 3 jet bridges was there last time I was there. But these jet bridges, all of these, none of those were there. So when we came out from this terminal on the other side of this terminal with the bus, because that lower level there, that's where the bus is, that's the bus boarding area, that little lower level down there. And then we're going along this road here. Hang on, let me just back up here for a second. I keep hitting keys on the laptop instead of the computer. Darn it. Actually, you know what? Let me see, because there were a bunch of parking spots here before, if I remember it correctly. I think they made some changes. I think this little area here might be new. I'm not sure, because I remember all the planes were lined up. Yeah, this is new. This little section here is new, because all of this was like a big ramp area behind this taxiway, and so all the planes were just lined up over here, and you boarded with the stairs. Let's turn around here for a second. Well, anyway, I've turned off that dynamic reflections or whatever, and I'm still getting some stutters though. So maybe it's not as bad as it was before, but we can still see there. I still have some stutters. So yeah, this whole green area, if I remember correctly, this was all tarmac, if I'm remembering it right. And you had all these 737s lined up here. And none of those jet bridges were there yet. None of those jet bridges were there yet. So that just comes to show you how long it's been since I've been here. And let's take a look here. We've got a little bit more internal modeling here. So once again, I don't see the glass textures on this side. That's weird. Maybe it has something to do with the lighting or the time of day or something. That could be. Let's go ahead and take a look at the night lighting. So your screen is going to go blank for a second. Time and season. I'm not going to use a time preview function because I don't want certain lights to like not turn on. Let's try 9:13 p.m. and see if that helps. So Crawley says it's a bit smoother now. Yeah, it's definitely a lot smoother now than it was before. So now that that's off, I'll fly over the airport again one more time, the whole airport, and we'll see how much of a difference is. And Bassman's asking, is this Aerosoft Prague? Yes, it is. It is released. It was just released. I don't know when it was released. Maybe it was released yesterday or early today, but it's out. So definitely grab it. And here we are streaming it live. Ooh, we got the night lights.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the nighttime. You know, when the sun goes down and things just get a little bit more romantic at night. And when it's nighttime, it's time to go to the sexy voice. That's right, it's Air Daily X 105.9 on your FM dial.
So we've got the night textures going. Frame rates are about the same. I'm finding the frame rates are about the same. So we're just going to see here if we see any of those. Actually, the frame rates have jumped up now. I think the highest, I think I was saying earlier, was like 30. Was it 30 or 40? Because I'm seeing it jump up to 46. Oh, I saw 50. So yeah, definitely it's looking smoother. It is definitely looking smoother now that we've turned off those dynamic reflections. Thank you, Crawley, for that. So definitely looking a lot smoother now than before, but still got some little stutters here and there. Ooh, yeah, we still got some stutters in there. Man, this scenery is freaking beautiful. The scenery, it looks great. I don't really have any other than some of the glass textures, which didn't seem to appear in certain areas. Certain areas it did, and certain areas it like didn't. So it could maybe be the reflection of the light or something. I'm not really sure, but with the exception of that, which really seems to be the only gripe I have besides having some of these stutters here, man, I mean, this is one beautiful freaking airport. It is just beautiful. So, provided it doesn't take XHT Labs another 3.5 years to release an airport, I mean, these guys have just, well, I don't know if it's these guys. I think it's just one guy, right? Primic, but I mean, he has a very bright future in flight simulation scenery design. Seriously, I mean, he's got his whole life ahead of him. In terms of developing sceneries, because I mean he has done an excellent job. Noticing a couple things here. We've got light here, we've got light there, but no light here. So not really sure what's going on there. And again over here you can see this is where the glass was done. The glass was done, it seems right, only on this particular building. So I guess in an update, if that glass can get rolled out onto the other buildings, and I think we should be in business. Whoa, the stutters, baby. The stutters. All the night lighting very nicely done here. There's those animated vehicles. We have some of the lights there on in the building there on the cargo facility. Let's move out here and take a look at the lead in. Is this a parking lot? That is a parking lot, isn't it? No cars! That's right underneath the approach. I guess I won't complain about that though, because obviously for performance concerns. And I'm still sort of kind of concerned. Come on, turn around. I'm still kind of concerned about these stutters anyway. So I guess we don't want to ask for more cars per se, do we? Look at the runway lighting. Very nicely done. All custom runway lighting. No chase lights though, huh? Nevertheless, the runway lighting here is very well done. And there's the little bridge. I forgot about that. Very nice. So A+ on the runway lights. I mean, ultimately the airport gets an A+ all around. I mean, this was definitely worth the freaking wait. Oh my gosh, it looks terrific. Just terrific. All right, let's go ahead and switch into the Airbus. And taxi around the airfield a little bit here. So your screen might go blank for a wee second while I change aircraft. And let me see here. See any more questions? Probably saying he thinks the stutters were there before I reached the airport. Well, when I started, I was still within kind of right on the border of Open LC and the scenery border area. But if we want, just for the sake of argument, I can always go to another airport and see if we still have stutters. That's one way we can check that. In fact, let's test that theory. Let's test that theory really quickly. Let's test that theory. Let's go to Copenhagen. Let's just test that theory real quick. That is an airport that is obviously much larger than Prague. We'll come right back to Prague. Let's just do a test. Let's see if we still get that same kind of stutters at Copenhagen as a test. And one gentleman says, I don't know if I can really pronounce a name there, but he says, so I should be happy with it aside from this possible stutter since I bought it about an hour ago. We've been streaming for at least that long, haven't we? 737 MG says the scenery has been in development so long I can't believe it's out. I can't believe it's out either. That's why I keep saying it feels really surreal. It's like I'm not really here. It's like it's not really happening. This was one airport that I've been waiting for years. I've been waiting since 2005. The airport's been in development for something like 3.5 years, but I've been waiting for this since 2005. So you can imagine it's been a really, really long wait. Looking at some other comments, Don says the airport looks great, especially the buildings. Pretty empty. A few statics would have been nice. Well, I turned off the AI traffic because I was concerned about performance. And Chemo reminds me that Sky Europe was the airline I was thinking of. Yeah, Sky Europe. And I remember when I was at Prague, in the subway there, Sky Europe like pretty much dominated the freaking subways with advertisements. Sky Europe, yeah, they went bankrupt. I think they owed like they owed a lot of money to. They were in a lot of debt. I think they owed money to like Austrian Airlines or something like that. They were in a lot of debt. All right, let's see. We're at Copenhagen really quickly. I just want to see if we get these stutters. So let's move around Copenhagen here real quick and see if we get stutters. Same settings, nothing's changed except for the fact that we've got this like low-hanging fog here. Now Copenhagen is a big airport. It ain't no joke. So you know what? Hang on a second. We're gonna get stutters with fog. I mean that's a given. Let's kill the weather here. Hang on a second. Let's just go with fair weather. Yeah, because no matter what, we're going to get stutters with fog. And let's go ahead and head really quickly over to the main terminal area. Yeah, still see some stutters here, though. I usually don't get stutters at Copenhagen. Let's see, where's the main terminal? This airport is so big and freaking spread out. There we go. Just running a quick test here. Just flying over the main buildings here. Yeah, there is some stutters going on here too. There's definitely some stutters going on here too. So maybe there's something going on my system that I need to clean up. It is kind of getting a little stuttery here, isn't it? And when I did the initial live stream of Copenhagen, I don't remember getting any stutters in that stream. I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't remember getting any any stutters there. So, so for the sake of argument, we're just going to assume that the stutters are me, and that they are not on the scenery. Let's see. Because, yeah, there are definitely some stutters here as well. Boy, Copenhagen looks good. This is becoming a stream of a different product. So let's head back to Prague. And let's go ahead and grab our Airbus. So yeah, I did. I got some stutters there at Copenhagen as well. So again, when you guys, those of you that have already bought it, just do me a favor and leave a comment on the original release post, letting me know what your experiences are, because I definitely want to make sure that I have that disclaimer up when this video goes live. In fact, I might wind up having to do it all over again from scratch if I find that I'm not getting stutters while I'm not broadcasting. But definitely, yeah, there were some stutters there as well at Copenhagen. And I did a flight from Copenhagen to somewhere in Norway. Maybe it was Bergen or something, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I had no stutters at all. So, it might be time to blow the dust out. All right, heading back to Prague, we're going to fire up the Airbus really quickly. Take a look at the winter textures, and that should pretty much conclude today's stream. All right, let's grab that Airbus. Or should I get the Airbus? What else should I? It seems like that's the plane I always use for taxiing around, isn't it? Let's try something big. Oh, no, I can't, because there is no wide-body gates at Prague, is there? Yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's see. Do I even have a CSA? I don't think I do. Let's grab... that should work. Well, I got an error. I'm not sure what happened there. And I guess we need to bring track IR back, don't we? Oh, you're really going to make me do a full start? Okay, I don't have time for that. Let's select something else. Usually when I fire it up, the engines are already running. The tool that I use System Mechanic. Okay, stand by. Let's grab... Alright, let's try this out. System Mechanic? No, I've been using that for years. At least 7 years I've been using that. In fact, since I've loaded up all these aircraft just now, let's go ahead and clean up the memory here a little bit. Give me a second here. Just switch the desktop really quickly. Oh crap, now I'm getting an error with this plane too. I don't know, I dragged all this crap over from 2.5 and I guess I need to reinstall some stuff. That's okay, I'm not really going to worry about that right now. Let's see here. Let's see if we can clear up some memory here. I haven't flown this plane since I went into 3.2, so oh well. Not much. Alright, and let's change the time and season as well. Let's go to winter. Where is it? Time and season. And we still want some lights, don't we? Let's try that. Okay. And let's switch back to the simulator. Just a few more moments. So overall, very happy with the scenery. Oh crap, this is too dark. Let's see if I can at least use a time preview to lighten things up a little bit. That should be fine. Well, my stupid gauges aren't working. Startup error, unable to start. Well, anyway, I don't know. That's what happens when you just copy your files over from another version prepared. I think they have to be installed from scratch. Alright, so finally we have a virtual cockpit view here. Speaking of Quality Wings, the guys are going to be at Flight SimCon this year. Looking forward to meeting them. That's going to be really awesome. Where's my zoom key here? There we are. Are the lights on there? It's kind of hard to tell. I guess they are. It would be nice to throw some AI in there, wouldn't it? One thing I can say, though, so far, just as we're taxiing around, haven't noticed any stutters. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. At least from the virtual cockpit, I didn't. Let's get back on that center line. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for some feedback from you guys as well, and I'll do a full maintenance overhaul and do some more tests as well. And if I find that it was on my end, I will come back and do another quick stream just showing it off in a more positive light as far as the performance goes. But I know a lot of you have purchased Prague already, so I'm looking forward to getting some feedback from many of you as well, just in terms of your findings as well. Going a little bit fast here. Taking a look at the ground lighting. Ground lighting, ground textures all look very nice. Frame rates are hanging around in the 30s. Doesn't look like it's going below 30. Yeah, I'm still seeing those stutters though. All right, let's find one of these gates, and then I guess I need to pull the manual back up because I guess we're going to get an animated gate, right? I hope so. So let's see here. Not my best taxi work. And let's pull up to one of these gates. And a few thoughts about quality wings in the 787. Hoping it's going to be out this year. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing what they're going to have to say about it. Let's pull on this gate right here. Let's just turn it. Yeah, hopefully the 787 in Amsterdam this year, right? Okay, I guess this is where I need to pull the manual because... Oh, there it is. 4, 3. Oh, a little to the right. Stop. I don't even know if I'm on there or not. All right, so we're on the gate. And I guess I need to pull the manual back up real quick to figure out how we get a jet bridge. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. I need to find the manual. Aerosoft. Mega Airport Prague. Manual. Dutch and English. Deutsch, I think. Alright, let's scroll down. Oh, I guess I should go to the desktop so you guys can see what I'm looking at, huh? Alright, low visibility procedures. Oh, this is still in German, isn't it? System requirements, copyright, contact support, history. Aprons. Installation. Graphics settings, advanced animations checked. Scenery settings, configuration file settings, airport vehicle density none, road vehicles 35%. Oh, I didn't actually turn on the road vehicles. That's fine anyway. We got to see their we got to see the custom vehicles, line detail textures, extremely dense. Yeah, that's all set. P3D settings. Yep. Windsocks. Okay, I'm not seeing anything here about jet bridges because it doesn't use a sim-object display engine, right? Let's see something here. Let's just take a quick look at the product page for a second. Extremely accurate buildings, ground polygons, night lighting, moving car traffic, rotating billboards, low visibility, custom animated windsocks, low visibility procedures. It doesn't say anything about animated jet bridges. I don't see anything about animated jet bridges. Huh. And I don't see anything about it in the instruction manual either. Okay. I'm just wondering what this big technology was that had it delayed for a year. What is it? Where is it? Why is it not like hitting me in the face? I don't see it. Removal of scenery, graphic settings, advanced animations. Mandatory. This is mandatory if you want to see animated passenger bridges. So it is here. Is there like a key thing that I'm supposed to pull up? Because Control J didn't do it. Alright, hang on a second. Let me just slew the aircraft here for a second and yeah, because Control J is not moving it, so there's got to be something else here that I'm missing. Do the engines need to be shut down by any chance? How do we call the jet bridge? Let's make sure jet bridges is Control J, right? Let's see settings. Controls. Attach. Detach jet bridge. Where is that? Yep, Control J. I'm not getting anything. And this isn't telling me how to do it. So I don't think I'm going to be able to show it for the live stream. I'll have to find out. It's not saying here that I can see. Copyrights. All right, so I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know about the jet bridges though, but if it doesn't use Control J, it should just be in the manual how to use it, and I don't see it here. So I'm gonna have to research that bit. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit further and find out how to get that to work. But it's not jumping out at me saying this is how you move the jet bridge, or this is what you must do. So I don't know. It looks to me like that information is just not here. And again, I'm still curious what the new technology is that had it delayed for a year. I'm still not, that's not jumping out at me and saying, here's a new thing. And from my understanding, it was supposed to be something like AES or something like that, or something similar to that effect, but it's just not jumping out at me. I'm going to change aircraft one more time to see if maybe it's the airplane. I guess that could be. So let's just do that really quickly. Otherwise, what I will do is I will have a update to the post, as well as a comment in the YouTube page reflecting any information that's missing from the actual live stream. That way nothing is left out. I will just grab this real quick. I just need to see an Airbus in here. Maybe this will get it working. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I shouldn't copy my airplane straight over. All right. Usually, mostly everything works. Let's see. Let's turn here. I can't see the docking thingy. Where is it? Oh, it says OK, so maybe it's fine. Parking brakes are on, are set. Yeah, it's definitely not a Control J animation, but they are animated. We do know that, but we just don't know how to get there. So, just going to run through just a quick sort of summary. There are some stutters. I'm not sure if that's my system or if that's the scenery itself. So, we did test another airport and we did see some stutters, so there's a good chance possibility that that could be me. Not really 100% sure, so I will have to go back in and run some more tests and provide an update on that later. The only other thing that I noticed was simply some of the glass areas and some of the sort of hollowed areas of the airport. The glass isn't that noticeable. It is in some areas and not in others, so that could definitely use for an update. As far as the quality of the entire environment of the airport, that gets an absolute A+ from me. The quality of the textures and buildings, that definitely gets an A. Ground textures, A+ there. Night lighting, definitely an A+, especially with the runway taxi lights and approach lighting. Definitely A+ there as well. Airport surroundings and approach, again, another A+, as well as the blending with FTX Open LC Europe. Very, very nicely done, as well as all of the custom autogen and vegetation. So definitely the airport is a 100% winner in my book, with the exception of really just the performance issues that I seem to have, as well as just trying to figure out how to get the animated jet bridges working. This is another area where there should probably, I don't know, maybe that shouldn't be glass, maybe not. But yeah, so just a couple of simple things, which of course you guys will be able to figure out on your own anyway. Wait, there's someone else saying, oh, Chris is saying there's a quote in the forum that's saying no jetways yet. Here's what I'm thinking, and here what it says here. Thanks for Fontes from the forum. We are sorry to say that we will not implement the ground handling feature we have announced a while ago in the Mega Airport Prague's initial release. This was not because we are not following up on this, but to not hold back on the long finished airport you have been waiting for. Be sure that whenever we see the ground handling fit for release, we will offer it as a free update. So that answers that question. And this was kind of my gripe, I think, in the very beginning, was that I felt that they should just release the airport in its current state and then just release this new technology when it's ready. because that obviously held things back a year. And, we could have had this a year ago. And so now we've got it, and then we still don't have the technology that we waited for. So unless there were additional elements of the scenery still being worked on that time, that was kind of an unfortunate wait. Another thing I'll point out here, there are some areas here where there's no night lighting on some of the buildings as well that could probably use an update. This building has no lights at all. So, yeah, there's little things, but overall, though, the airport is just well done. I mean, it's beautiful. It's definitely the Prague that I've been waiting for the better part of, almost a decade and a half. Well, actually, it's been over a decade and a half, hasn't it, to get this airport. So it's been a long wait, and the quality has surpassed what I hoped it would be. Just a few things, and obviously, a big update is obviously going to come when they release the new technology feature with jet bridges and stuff. So obviously an update is coming for it. So we just need to be a little bit more patient. But for the meantime, if you have any feedback in terms of the performance that you get with the airport, I would like to have some of your feedback as well. That'll be very helpful. Hopefully the stream, though, was helpful for you just in terms of seeing just how beautiful this work of art really is. There's no light on the control tower, too. That's just dark up there as well. So I'm sure an update will come soon enough. Do I recommend it? I definitely recommend it, only in the sense that I'm not really sure about the performance, if it's just on my end or not. So please, 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 when you get it, because I know a lot of you guys are going to rush out and get it one way or the other, please do give me some feedback on your performance as well. And I will do some more tests on my end, and I will definitely provide an update on that as well. And if I get that sorted out and it is on my end, I will come back with another stream clearing that up as well, because I definitely want to support Primic for his efforts. It's been a long time coming, getting this airport out, and he's obviously done an incredible job, an amazing job. This building back here doesn't have any lights either. Okay, so that's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Apologies for the buffering on behalf of what I assume is Twitch. But obviously, later on in the YouTube version, you won't have that problem. So definitely go back and check that again from scratch. Definitely pick up a copy of Mega Airport. How much is this thing? $20.97, so in US dollars, that's like, what, 21 bucks or something like that. It's not available in the US shop yet. So, but either way, that's a steal. So, grab it. And, hey, I'll see you guys for the next live stream. Happy flying out there, folks, and see you next time.